Hi, everybody. It's Deborah from PeopleLovingAnimals.com. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching today's video. Today's video is called How to Stop a Puppy from Crying When Left Alone. If your puppy gets upset when you leave the house, if they get upset when you leave the room, if they get upset when you go to the bathroom, especially if you have a new puppy, today's video is going to help you. We're going to go over some step-by-step exercises on how you can actually teach your puppy to be okay alone. Okay, it is a process and you do need to teach them, and it's not that hard. I'm going to give you the steps in today's video. I'm also going to give you some extra help in today's, I'm going to give you some resources for some extra help on how to stop your puppy from crying in general, how to stop your puppy from crying at night, and how to stop your puppy from crying in their crate. Okay, so if you're having a basic crying issue with your puppy, I think you're going to be glad that you found today's video. But today's video, we're going to focus on how to get your puppy to stop crying when they're left alone. If you have not been here before, my name is Deborah. I own a website called PeopleLovingAnimals.com. Several times a month, I do a video all about the care and health and training of dogs and cats. So if you have a pet that you would like to get continuous help with, please go ahead and subscribe. I think you'll find the videos to be quite valuable, especially if you have a new puppy, and especially if you're a first-time dog or cat owner. I think you're going to get a lot of help here on my channel. I would love to have you on board as a subscriber. Also, please share my channel with your friends and family who have a dog or a cat, because they might appreciate the help as well. And also, if today's video is helpful for you, please give it a like. It helps YouTubers a lot when you do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into today's video. I'd love it if you would comment in the comment box and tell me what kind of puppy you got and how old they are and whether this is your first time. Let's talk. All right, if you're on YouTube looking for help with a puppy, then you probably need some help. Okay, so we are on my website, PeopleLovingAnimals.com. We're going to use this article called How to Stop a Puppy from Crying for today's video, just to kind of keep me on track. Now, I'm going to give you the link to this article in the description box. It is a complete article, and like I said, it covers your puppy crying in general, your puppy crying at night, your puppy crying in the crate, and it also covers your puppy crying when you're left alone. That piece we're going to cover today, but I'll give you the links to the rest of it. I'll also give you a link to this video, How to Stop a Puppy from Crying, that goes over all of those things. It's a 30-minute video. It's very thorough. So if you need help with the other issues as well, go ahead and click into the stuff I'm giving you, okay? And you're going to be able to get some help with this. But for today's video, we're going to specifically talk about the exercises you can do step by step, how you teach your dog to be okay when they're left alone, okay? Now, what you do is you start by practicing the room. You start by practicing leaving the room, okay? And you have to practice with your puppy, especially if they are a very young puppy. You have to practice teaching them how to be alone. This is how you do it. You start by practicing leaving the room. Take your puppy to a room in your house, pet him for a few minutes, the two of you are hanging out and everything is okay, and then leave the room. Once they're relaxed, go ahead and leave the room. He'll probably start whining. After a couple minutes, only when he's quiet, go back into the room and reward the puppy with a treat or affection. You can do this repeatedly each time leaving the room for a few minutes longer. All right, so here's the deal. You put the puppy in the room, you're in there, you're petting him. Once he's relaxed, you go ahead and you leave the room. Within who knows how long, probably only a couple minutes, probably less than 60 seconds, the puppy's going to start crying and whining on the other side of the door. Don't open that door until the puppy is quiet. Now, if you're saying, well, the puppy's not going to stop. Okay, well, when you first start this, you can go into the room and you can say in a firm voice, shh, or quiet. Use a firm tone, say it once, walk out of the room. All right, only do that once. Then wait until your puppy is quiet before you open that door. Now, he will be quiet for a minute, okay? If you hold out when they're crying, there will be what I refer to as a precious moment when he's going to stop crying because he's listening to see if you're coming. They're not going to just cry continually. They're going to stop periodically to listen to see if you're coming. That's your precious moment. That's when you that's when you go in, okay? Because the most important thing that you want to do when you're trying to teach a puppy to stop crying is don't reward the crying. All right? When I cry, mommy comes. When I cry, I get a treat. When I cry, mommy comes into the door. Do you see what I mean? You can't reward the crying, because you have to remember that dogs are very cause and effect. When I do this, this happens. When I do this, this happens. When I cry, she'll come back. If I keep crying, she'll come back. Do you see what I mean? You can't reinforce that behavior. You can't let your dog think that crying is the way to get what he wants. So you put him in the room. When he starts crying, wait a couple minutes, wait for that moment, that one moment when he's silent, then you open the door, you go into the room, and you praise him. See? Now you're teaching your puppy, when I'm quiet, she'll come back. She won't come back till I'm quiet. When I'm quiet, she'll come back. She won't come back till I'm quiet. Do you see what I mean? It's the repetition, repetition, repetition. You're teaching your dog. And then what you do is you leave the room for a few minutes longer each time. Now, you might want to spend an afternoon, an hour or so with a puppy teaching them this. But also remember that a puppy, especially a young puppy, cannot hold their bladder very long. Okay, so if you're going to say, okay, this afternoon I'm going to work with my puppy on this, just remember that if you've been at this for a little while, you know, even a half hour or 45 minutes, you might want to take the puppy out for a potty break, because then he's going to be crying because he's got to go potty. You're going to have an accident. You're going to be frustrated. You see what I mean? So just keep that in mind while you're doing this kind of training. Now, what you're doing is you're teaching your puppy to be alone in a room for longer and longer periods of time, and you're also teaching him that crying is not the way to get what he wants. While you're practicing this with your puppy, remember that they can't hold their bladder very long, and you may need to take them outside for potty breaks. Now, we're going to just talk a little bit more about this, but I do want to stop for a second to do two things. One is I want to recommend to you a training by professional dog trainer and behavioral specialist Doggy Dan. It's called the Dog Calming Code. And if your dog is particularly upset, if you think, for example, they might be suffering from separation anxiety, you know, like if they get really upset when you leave the room, or when you go to work or whatever, or they're barking, the neighbors are calling to tell you the puppy was crying, you know, you might have a dog that's having some real anxiety issues, and you should always call your vet if you think that your puppy is too upset. If you think they're too upset, please follow your instincts and call the vet. But I also recommend Doggy Dan's training called the Dog Calming Code, which will help you to calm the dog down. Okay, he has step-by-step exercises that will actually help you to calm the dog down. So, teaching your puppy to be okay left alone. You do this, you start by doing it in a room, okay? You do it a little bit at a time, and then you only reward the dog with you coming back when they're quiet, never when they're crying. Now, what I have done in the past, when I have had, whether it's a new puppy or just even a new dog, because even an adult dog, if they're brand new, especially if you've adopted a rescue dog, they're not going to be happy when you leave, and they're not going to be happy when you leave the room. And it's just kind of a primal nature for them. They want to be with you. They're pack animals. Most dogs do not enjoy being alone, okay? So what I would do is just practice a little bit at a time. Like, for example, you have a brand new dog, you just brought him home. All right, well, go to the bathroom and shut the door and stay in there for a few minutes. Start with that. But again, don't come out of the bathroom until the dog stops crying. If you go into the bathroom and you shut the door and the puppy is crying outside the bathroom door, do not open that bathroom door until that precious moment when he's quiet. When he's quiet, open the door. Take that opportunity, if he's only quiet for a second, to listen to see what you're doing in there. That's when you open the door. Only come back out when he's quiet, never when he's crying, because he's going to think crying is the way to get you back out of the bathroom, okay? So I would start with, like going to the bathroom for a few minutes, and then you can go in there for longer and longer periods of time. You might go down to your bedroom for a half an hour, leave the puppy in the living room, those sorts of things. And then I would just make it a little bit longer. Maybe I would go out and walk out to the mailbox and back. You know, maybe I would go for a short walk down the street and back. Maybe next I would take a quick trip to the grocery store and back. Again, you have to practice with your dog to teach them how to be okay alone, especially if it's a young puppy, and especially if you have a rescue dog. If you have an elderly dog that you have adopted, okay, just keep it in mind that it's a big deal for them, for you to be leaving. It's a big deal for them. Also, Doggy Dan talks a lot about pack leader training, and he believes very strongly that you really need to demonstrate to your puppy or to your dog that you are the pack leader. And if they don't see you as the pack leader, meaning you're the one that makes the decisions, you're the one that's in charge of things, you're the one that's in charge of the property and the house and the kids and everything, if you don't demonstrate to your dog that you're the pack leader, then they think they have to be. Now, some dogs are alpha dogs. They're happy to be in charge of everything, but most dogs aren't. Most dogs, that will cause them quite a bit of anxiety when they think that they have to be in charge of things. So that will really cause upset when you're leaving, because the dog literally thinks they're being left in charge. They think they're being left in charge, and they're upset about it. You see, so that's, a little bit. I think sometimes it like goes deeper than we even realize when we say, why is the puppy crying? Like, why is the dog upset? You really have to think like the dog thinks, So I hope that this video has helped you today. A few things before you go. I'm going to give you the link in the description box for this article, How to Stop a Puppy from Crying. It goes over crying in general, crying at night, crying in the crate, and crying when they're left alone. I'm also going to give you some resources for Doggy Dan. Well, I'll give you the link to this longer video too that covers all that stuff. I'll give you a link to Doggy Dan's calming code, and I'll also give you a link to Doggy Dan's blog post about setting your puppy up for success. I'll also give you a link for Doggy Dan's free training about crate training your puppy. That's a nice little free training by Doggy Dan. And I'm also going to give you a link to what's called the Perfect Puppy Program, and that's also from Doggy Dan. I'll give you the link, and that's step-by-step puppy training. And all of Doggy Dan's trainings in his online dog training website are video trainings. So there's step-by-step videos. You get to actually watch Doggy Dan teach puppies, teach dogs. You get to actually watch it. It's a really good dog training program. So I hope that you'll click the links in the description box and take advantage of that. I hope that today's video was helpful. If it was, again, please give it a like. Please feel free to comment in the comment box. Let me know what kind of puppy you got. Let me know what their name is. Let me know if you're struggling. What issues are you struggling with your puppy? I might already have some videos on whatever you're struggling with. If not, I'm happy to create one for you. If there's something that I feel like I can help you with, I'm happy to help you. And again, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content. Good luck with your little dog. I hope so much that everything I'm giving you today is going to end up solving the problem for you and for your little dog, because you don't want your puppy to be crying. You want them to enjoy their little puppy life. Okay, so again, thanks so much for watching. I hope I've helped. My name is Deborah, and my website is peoplelovinganimals.com. Thanks again. Bye-bye.